Welcome to Tales of Drammeh Online TV. This is the special interview. I'm glad to say today we have another Gambian legend in the studio with us, Ebrima Sohna. Well, many will say the fans' favorite. Last week we spoke to his colleague here and we promised that we'll be here with another legend. Thank you so very much. So it's always good to have you. I remember there's never an interview, or there's never an invitation between Hagie Drammeh and Ebrima Sohna. Whenever we knock the doors, it's always available. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Hagie. I'm happy to be here, like always. Yeah.
Well, recently, the Gambia was on the limelight for the best reason. After many years of trying, we've never been there. There are many legends who've tried and could not find that way to the AFCON. But recently, a group of young men, represented the Gambia from the qualifiers to the Africa Cup of Nations, which you were part of, qualified the nation. And when we were going, many people thought that this is just going to be, a kind of exhibition to show what you can do, what the Gambia has. But something happened that even us here back home didn't think it was going to go that way. But my first question would be, if you had to tell us today about, what happened in Cameroon, reflect back at Cameroon, how do you describe that to us today? Because you were there.
Well, Hagie, it's a joy, it's something which is like you say, a lot of people don't believe in us that we're going to go through or even reach at the quarterfinals, but for us, we have that belief even before we travel, to be honest. Like, it's crazy. If you say it, people will not believe. But for me, if people go back to BBC, because I have an interview with them, it's like almost a month before the tournament. They asked me that question again, like, if we're going to make it through to the next round. I said, I believe that we're going to make it through. And then the lady said, are you sure? I said, yeah. So this is something like, for me personally, and I know with my other colleague, because we speak a lot, we believe, we have that belief in us before even we travel, And even before the first game against Mauritania, it was something which is like, everyone was so, hungry, ready to give everything, set something to give the signal to the fans to say that, hey, we are here for business. We are not here just to visit Cameroon. Yeah.
You were one of the few senior players who have played all the categories. For all the categories, you started with the under-17, enjoyed some glories there. You went to the 20 World Cup. You were part of that team. And in the qualifiers, you were part of the team that made the history to qualify this nation to the AFCON competition. But when you look at the crop of young players that we have in this team, combined with some of you, was that the reason of this great performance that we've seen in terms of the togetherness, in terms of the, they give it all?
Like you say, we have young players, but for me, I don't say young players, you understand? They are young, but experienced. Sometimes you can be young, and then you have the experience, and you have the willing, you have the heart to give it up. That little bit those young players add into their, into themselves. It gives us a easy ride, because with the experience, it's like we are speaking. We are, when we see something is going wrong, or when we feel like someone is going down, we are there to, motivate them, to push them, or to give that advice. But most of them, they reply in a positive way, like you don't even need to speak a lot, And most of them, what they say, we're going to show it in the page. Understand? Even after the first, when we play, like most of the game, after first half, even if you go to one of the young players and speak, you can see in their eyes, they want to just, rectify what they was doing, or they want to, do what no one expects, like Yusuf Bob, someone I love, to be honest, like someone who is playing in the same position as me,
It was a very good game.
Very good tournament. Like I said to him, I said, no, man, you deserve to be in a better league. And that's the truth. But, football sometimes is not fair. But I know that I have confidence that that kid will have a bigger club.
It seems like you enjoy him playing.
No. I like
as somebody that is ready to take up with someone as mentor.
Yeah, no, even before, when they start to call him up before, he was not having playing time. I always say to him, patient, you are the guy. Because I trust him a long time ago, not now even, and he make me feel like, okay, we have a bright future. There's nothing gonna miss, So you see those kind of young players. So we are in the right direction. Yeah.
You were given the chance in a game that was a very important game for the Gambia, even though we know that we are qualified, but we play against a former AFCON champion who perhaps will not want to miss that opportunity, to touch or taught Gambia a footballing lesson. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case. A frustrating moment for Tunisia. And you came in the first half, you continue doing what many Gambians know you for. That is just killing these passes that could be potential goal scoring opportunity for the Tunisian side.
Well, as a player, you have to know your quality, I always say that to young players. We all can play with the ball, but there is people who have to sacrifice to do the dirty work. And then there's another players who are in the other level of like taking the ball or doing the last, you know what I mean? So it have to mix. But if everyone have to play the same way of like playing with the ball, always, they're gonna come back to us, to hurt us. So for me personally, I know my power and I know what the team needs. So I make it easy for myself and then for the team, and then I do it for the team. I can sometimes like other people think, no, I can do a lot, but I know I have to do this for the team. I have to do that work for the team. So for Tunisia, that was my second time to play against Tunisia. Yeah, the friendly game in Tunisia, we won them 2-1. I played that game, the whole game, and it was a game like a lot of people thought like we're gonna lose, but then we respond good. Yeah.
What stood out for you in the Cameroon 2021 AFCON? You always mentioned this or spoke about this. You want to end your career with seeing Gambian playing in AFCON. And 2021 was the right time for you. You had the glory with the under-17 and also the under-20. So can you express, that's what stood for you in Cameroon?
Well, like you say, when you go through the junior category, like under-17 African Cup of Nations, under-20 African Cup of Nations, and it's something for me. I always say that, hey, because I always set a goal like I want to achieve, So that was something like I know this is what I want to achieve, and then it will meet where I have to say thanks to Gambia, and this is for the fans. You understand what I mean? And I say it to the coach. I say it in in my different interview. Because he took over against Algeria, you understand what I mean? And he said to me, hey, I'm here to qualify Gambia for the first time. And I was feeling the same, you understand what I mean? I said, this is the time. And that time it was difficult. And if you see our squad, it was not that, you know what I mean, to that level that no one will believe that we're going to qualify. Yeah, you understand? Yes. But for the players for us who was there, like, we make it possible, we make it easy for other players to believe we can make it. You understand what I mean? So from then, I said, this is the year. And it was the same with the coach. So sometimes you have to believe and work hard for it. You understand? So for me, this is...
In the locker room, when you play, before you play your game against big guns, coaches will go out and see the Gambia as not a threat. Like we always take the Malian coach, for example, who gave no respect to the Gambian team in the press conference. Was that part of the motivation factor to the performance we saw against?
That's something, yeah, but I think we motivate ourselves even if we don't hear anything. Because for us, leaving Gambia and then saying like we're going to Cameroon, all of us, we have one word we say. We are not going there for holiday. We are going there to put something in the world, to put something there like the world will respect Gambia. So, that's a big word, Yes. That's something big. Yeah. You want to make a mark. We are a small nation, we are the underdog, but we have to set something that we will have the respect from people. And we did that. So
there's no minor.
Exactly. So that's the motivation from all of us.
There are young players who stood up in this Gambian team
Yeah.
in the competition. We've seen Musa Barrow outstanding performance in all the matches. At some points, defenders will sacrifice all their body for him not to take a shot.
Musa, you know, he is talented. He's he's someone who decide the game, you know. He's someone who read the game, you know. There's players who play, you understand, they're just playing. But Musa, he's playing, he's reading the weak side of the other opponent. You understand? If you watch him closer, you will see always he change. He try this side, it doesn't go. You will see him the other side, both left, right. Even if he's playing as a striker, you can see. And before the ball, even before the ball arrived to him, he always know what he's gonna do. Even if it is gonna beat the player, or if he's gonna make 1-2, he know. Look, the ball Yusuf Bob gave him the goal.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
The movement from the other two players, you know, maybe
That's
people consider,
yeah.
you know, you have Ebrima, you know,
yeah.
and then you have Yusuf Bob with
Koli,
you know, the movement there, and then with Musa, you know, the run, and then the way he collect the ball and put his body under, then is a penalty or you leave him to score.
Yeah.
So you see,
the goalkeeper was expecting from the left side.
Exactly. So he's a fantastic player, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, immediately the team returned back home. You made an announcement recently. That is after the captain of the team, Pamodu Jai, announced his retirement. And you are the only few players that has tested glories in all the other teams or all the other categories in Gambian football. But others will also ask, there are many folks outside who are playing in the same age with Sohna, playing for the national team. Why hanging the boots, or why saying it's okay now for national team? Why do you come up with that decision?
Well, for me, I think it's the right time. For me personally, I think it's the right time. I know I can go further, but I feel, you know, like there's a time where, like, okay, people will say, oh, you have to give chance to the young ones. But that time, I know, for me personally, I know that it was not the time, because I was doing it for Gambia, not for me. I know when the time is right, that I know there's a players who stood up to take that challenge, to stand, you know, you will feel it. You understand what I mean? Like in this tournament, even before we go to this tournament, I said, this is going to be our best tournament. And then after this, no, I'm going to give way. Because even in the qualifying round, seeing other midfielders, Ebrima Sohna, you have Yusuf Bob, you have to be honest with yourself. You understand what I mean? And then you can take so many roles, you know, even it's going to look like you are still playing, talking to them, you know, seeing things, you know, fixing things, you understand what I mean, through your experience. Still, I will feel like I'm playing. I'm giving back, you know. So this is the thing, like, what, you know, what I mean, give me the, because of course I know my body, like I always say, you know, like people can speak, but you know your body, you know how you feel, you know how you can go, you know where you want to stop. So, but for me, I feel this is a time to take another role in the national team, to give those kids a chance. Even to sit on the bench, I feel like I'm going to take a space of another talented midfielder for him to read the game, to learn from, you know what I mean, what is going on. So
that's a honest
exactly. So this is why.
Well, one like us can attest to the fact that, you know, you've always been a supporter of the national team, because I've distributed tickets to many Gambian fans coming from you when Gambian playing, using your money or your bonuses to buy tickets for Gambian players, which somebody come to me and at West Coast Radio will just ask questions and people will do. Will you say, you know, your goal or your dream of achieving in the national team as a player is now fulfilled?
Well, for now, yeah, but still I feel like we have a work, we have something to finish, you know, still now, really. Okay, for us, you know, like you say, there's a generation, you know. Okay, me and Pamo was lucky to be in a different generation. You understand what I mean? All those people, they contribute, like I say. Even the GFF president, the formers, you know, the leads, everyone contribute, the legends, you know. So these people, I mean, all of them, they are in this success because they clear the way for us. They make it easy for us. They fight with things like will change some things that, like, you know, for us when we arrive there, then it will be easy. Like us now, you know, there's some things we have to stand for, so that our the young generation, when they come, that when they took over, then it will be easy for them. You see. So I feel like, I mean, we just have to say thanks to everyone who have gone through this national team, even the fans. Because the fans, bro, I always say this, the fans, they play a big role. To criticize, I mean, what they're saying, I mean, that's normal.
So it eventually turned you to be a better person.
It like, yeah, that's why if you want to be a better player or to success, you have to accept criticism. You have to, because that will grow, that will make you grow. That will make you, I mean, stand up and say, hey, I want to show these people that I'm still there, or I can do this, or I can take my nation to this level. Yeah.
Not every criticism is against or dislike you. It's just they want to push you to do something else.
You have to take it in a positive way. Yeah.
How do you see the crop of young players do we have? Are we in the right direction of competing now with big guns, or we still have some room of improvement?
Of course, there is always a room to improve, to be honest. Yeah, like now, especially like other nations, other countries, they are not going to take us easy, because we set a map. Okay, in the qualifying round, we did it. Everyone was like, wow, we don't expect this, by surprise. And then going to the tournament, and then wow. So we like they're gonna take us like Cameroon now, Nigeria and stuff. So now we have to even add more. The players have to be ready more. Mentally, physically, and then the federation, the government have to even pump up more money, because things are not going to easy. So the preparation have to be on top, like they have been doing, but still nothing is enough in football. Yeah.
We've seen, recent trend in African football, former players, some of them now serving as coaches, administrators. An example are abound. For example, you go to Senegal, a former defender, Aliou Cissé, helped Senegal to their first AFCON triumph. Samuel Eto'o lead the Cameroonian football club, football federation. And now, some of you have passed through all the categories in this country. Are you considering, like other former players, taking the leadership or a role in our national setups?
Anything is possible. I think like the Eto'os and others who have, now they are taking charge of their federation. They have been the same like us, ending career, and then. But like I say, even if you know that there's a position in the federation or anywhere, like you can stand up and then do the different, but it doesn't mean you have to you have to go to the extent to spoil things in the federation, or to do to say things just to harm, and you know what I mean. If you're saying the fact, say the fact, but not just to put them down, or you know what I mean.
Because they also
you understand what I mean. You understand. But then if you're come in a way, me personally, I know I can help in a different. I've been doing it even when I was playing. I know what the team. I know what football need. I know what the country need. I know what the grassroots football need. But everything is time. You understand? And even if I have to step up in a federation role, you understand, I will love to come in a way no one will bring me in. You got me?
Yeah.
I have to come in a way I will control, no one will control me. I'm the one who give you that position to do this, to do that, you understand?
Then that's where what the job
exactly to be more professional. Because in Africa, not only the football, so many jobs is like this is our problem.
Just to serve
the
purpose of me or your boss.
Exactly, because it's the person who put you there and then sit back and then controlling you. Sometimes even the leaders, if they're in certain position, they don't even want to do some things, but there's people who put them there, and then they are back there eating, and then this guy is looking. I mean, people are saying that he's wicked or he's not good, he's not doing this, but they're the one who accept it. So that's why, me personally, and I know other people, is like that. You have to come in the right way. But now this federation now is like, even like people are saying they are doing wrong, but we have to support them in any way for them to succeed. But if you spoil one thing or two, it's not for them, it's for everyone. It's for the country. You're destroying the whole country. This is my point,
There are many talents who need them now to get the way.
Exactly.
If you destroy that will never happen.
Exactly.
But you play in many leagues as a professional, and last year you came back and helped Fortune. And many were saying that, this is what we need from our players. Are you finally going to hang the boots, or you still eye some clubs that you want to give back to? For instance, like your Your former coach.
Yeah. I said that, what he done, like Fortune, I'm not going to stop, to be honest. Like, I stopped in the national team, but Fortune, I'm still going to play and finish the season with them. Yeah, and I want Gambians to understand that, like, when a footballer, like a legend, step down in abroad and then decide to come to back home to play, is to help the league. Not like, okay, he did not have to. No. Some people,
some people think that the players are broke. That's why they come and play back.
No. Like, some people they think like that, but those people, they don't know. Like now, look, Muntari now in Ghana. So and other legends. So they have to, like, so many players in abroad, like in our age, they want to come back home, but they feel like how the fans gonna react. So they are scared.
The reception, might be somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. You understand what I mean? Nah, man.
But you have set the pace, and many are calling now. Is it?
Zico did it, like, because they don't have to think like that. You have to welcome the legends to come and support the league, and then even the sponsor, like the companies, they will come out to sponsor, because when they see legends and come, putting on the jersey, so just for them to have their mark on the, but people are not seeing that. Branding is very important in sport,
I'm talking about branding. You have a group or an organization, a private business that is a huge business in the Gambia now, Sohna Network. You started broadcasting live matches live from the Independence Stadium. And now the network has grown. So what is the expectation from the Sohna now that you have more time to do with branding of our, sports in particular?
Well, when I set up the Sohna, it was more of like to open the door for these young kids. You understand what I mean? Look, from 2 years ago, and now when we start to sow the league, how many players left?
A lot of players.
Exactly. So this was my point.
So that was your target.
That was my target, to say that, and to show the other TV station to say that, hey.
Let's expose.
Exactly. So how many TV stations start to come to the stadium and show the games?
Oh, yeah.
So one person have to start so that the others follow. This is Africa, this is Gambia. So for me, it was not for money, it was not to make money. I was financing, personally. I take advice from you. I said, this is what I want to do. So what I mean? I finance, pay my workers for 1 year before I have companies coming in for advertisement. So I sacrifice that, not for me, because I don't make $1 say up to now. And still I'm taking out my money and investing, So this is what we need if we want to grow sport.
What will you hope to see Gambians say as your greatest legacy when you finally, hang on your boots?
For me, I always say, like, I want people to remember me, like, I love this country. And anytime I put on this jersey, I'm someone else. If I'm sick or I'm not sick, when I put it on, then the jersey is my, you know what I mean?
That's
what I mean. No, that's me, I look different. I'm someone else when I put on the Gambian jersey. Really. It changed me, it changed my mood, it changed my, you understand what I mean? The way I concentrate even is something else.
Explain the feeling when the national anthem was sung in Cameroon.
Like I can say, like, since on the 17th, it's like I remember most of us, we cry when the national anthem is, you know what I mean? No, that's something, I just praying for the young generation, to, increase that person, to increase, not just to present themselves in the pitch, but to say that, hey, we're going into the pitch to stand for our country. It's like representing your country for war.
Yeah.
So this is something, the consistent is very important, and this have to start from the clubs, because every player here you go through like a club. You understand what I mean? Yeah. They have to have that culture. It's very important. It's like a kindergarten, then nursery school and stuff.
The club will nurture you.
So this is things like we have to start to build up, have this program. It will help the national team, especially in our 17 under 20. The under 17 coach, the under 20 coach, the senior national team coach, they have to be one chain work. Yeah. The development have to be like this. So you will see that from the Chan team, you can just come straight into the national team and perform.
Look at into the system.
Exactly. We have a lot of players, but then that connection have to start to grow.
Any interest of having an academy? We see top players play for their country at the end of the day and make their way into developing youth setup by coming up with an academy?
Hagie, if I tell you this, I know a lot of people don't know. Since I was playing in my first professional contract, when I signed,
Okay.
I have an academic for 6 years, Sohna FC in Bundung, and then all over the Gambia. I have it for long, taking my money. Even I was not earning my first one. I was not earning that big. The first year, then after, but doing that, God pay me through. Like after 1 year, after a few games, they changed my contract. So I'm just saying to do good is very
It's
good.
always important.
So when I set up that, I was not even earning the first contract. But then after I set up the academic, Ndebuso, no,
Yes,
because
I know
he's
that.
one of the who was taking care. Even Steve have gone through my academic. A lot of players. But then after then, when Buso travel and another, who was taking
becomes an issue.
then, Gambia, when you don't have the right people,
Yeah.
start to take your material, sell into Norwegian teams. But I was having that to continue. But now, me ending my, what I mean, like for national team, and then I'm coming to a close, of course, this is going to be something to set up
You've been doing a lot of humanitarian gestures as well, going to schools, trying to bring up, students there, trying to pay for some, building school, classrooms for, Arabic schools here. We've seen all that. Now that you are, you've stepped aside from international game, how are you trying to manage that? Because it is going to be huge. It's going to be too much for you to be able to be in all this as a person. How do you intend to continue with that?
No, for me, I always challenge myself. You know me personally. My how I set up myself, the goal I set up. I always like challenge. Understand? And if you want to go with all of that, always you have to expand your network.
Yeah.
You don't need to be there. You can be visiting in a different way, but still the work is going. You see? So for me, there's some things I don't have to say it, but I know people will start to see different things. I'm going to involve myself just to help. And then a lot of people gain from it, Yeah.
By the way, the balls we use in the National League competition, that's your contract.
That one,
the balls that we use in the league.
That one is coming, because the tempo ball,
yes.
We signed it for 3 years. 3 years, and then it's coming now in the league, so we're gonna use it for 3 years. It comes from me, but I have to say that one is like just the starting.
Yeah.
Because there's so many projects I wanna bring in. Not to say that I'm gonna wait when I say that I have a role in the GFF. No. I'm a Gambian.
Yeah.
So this is what I want people to understand. So when you give to the federation, or you give to the kids, or you give to school, you are not wasting.
Yeah. You are giving back.
You are giving back,
Not what you can, what you can do for you,
exactly.
what you can do for your country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And others in the provinces like in Basse, Farafene, Jara, Soma, children do see themselves isolated sometimes because not that big opportunity that top players give to the greater Banjul area or this part of the country to them. I don't know whether you have this thinking of extending or expanding your tentacles across the country.
Of course, me and Pop, the guy working in my network, we spoke about it 2 days ago. I give them my idea to say, okay, I'm having a game, my retire game, like after the home game here against Chant. The next day, I'm gonna organize a game with the legends, musicians, and comedians.
So that's a news for us, eh?
So that's what that will come up, and then I said to him, like, I don't just want to do it in around here, like in the stadium only.
Yes.
But I would love to organize a game, maybe say Basse, Farafenye, and then the village close. Then we can invite them, and then maybe take like 2-3 musicians, entertain, just to say thanks. It's not gonna be easy, but that
amazing.
Yeah.
Those youngsters that are shouting your name. You will have the opportunity to see Ebrima Sohna live, and that can serve as a motivation.
And with the players, we have to know that we have a lot of fans up there.
Yes.
I have a lot of message in my Facebook in Basse and other because Farafenye I have traveled there. I have visited 2 times with their football games. Wow. They invite me, and I went 2 times, and it was amazing. Yeah. So, but like I say, the rest is gonna come like that. People gonna see, but we can sit here and talk, but then the action is more.
What would be your piece of advice, particularly those playing in all the categories of our national teams?
Well, like I always say, discipline is very important, and set up your goal, and then know especially when you're young, you have to go with the right people. To go with the right people, it helps when you're young. You understand? Okay, some kids, they're young, but they can control. Not every kid can control. So that's very important. And then to be humble, put yourself down. I say this all the time. Even if you play 5-6 games, the fans are thinking that you are Cristiano Ronaldo. No, you're not Cristiano Ronaldo. You're not, there's a long way to go. Like I always say, if you play a game today, people say, wow. The next game, just take it like, oh, you did not do anything. This is the day I have to sow again. Every game you do it like that, you're going to be consistent.
Very important in one's career.
Yeah, consistent is very important. Every coach is looking for those players, Yeah.
Well, viewers, we have come to the end of this episode with former Gambian international midfielder, Ebrima Sohna. Well, this is not going to be the first or last encounter with him. He has a lot of projects that he wants to start as now to give back to the Gambians. Many know Ebrima Sohna has always been there for many Gambians when the time of need. Thank you so very much once again, Ibrahim.
Thanks.
And we wish you a very happy retirement
Thanks.
from international game. Yeah. And hope to watch you, playing for the national team to boost the morale in our National League competition. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much.
I hope to get you again.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.